Right, so quite wild. Backstick until about 50 while increasing power to no more than 9, 6 or 7 is better. Flip reflex size, yeah, we got that. Guess what plane it's going to be? I suppose that's the challenge of the day. I've just thought I'd go and enjoy myself actually for once and fly something properly. Oh, the Supermarine Spitfire. Oh, of course it said that. It's just giving it all away. It's loading still, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. So yeah, I've got a flight later today. Weather's looking like it is going to be warm, but it's not going to actually turn into thunderstorms in Innsbruck. Now we're at a nice airport, a nice one, not nice, not Nice. It's called Asiago. It's in Vicenza, Verona. I think it's Verona, Veneto province. Lovely restaurant there. We've got some old warbirds here, and we've got a very old warbird here, which we're going to fly today. So first things first, I'm actually going to do a startup procedure quickly. So useful to get the tablet out for this. I know it's a bit annoying, but you know, modern technology, might as well make use of it. So parking brake set, that's done. Battery on. We do that by advancing the throttle. There's the battery switch there. And if you put the throttle over it, it nudges it forward. So that's on. Prop control full forwards. Carb air filter open forwards. Fuel on. That's this one here, so we pull the stick back, turn that on. Mixture idle cut off. External tank is off. Throttle open 1/2 inch. That's done there. See there, there's a 1/2 inch. Booster wobble pump until low pressure lights off. So low pressure lights there. We can either pump this like that. It takes a while, or we just there's a little switch underneath the thing there, and that should have the same effect if it's actually on. There we go, that one there. On. Check light. Oh, don't do this to me now. It's because I've used both, isn't it? No, it's because I've got the mixture on. Mixture's to full. Go, that's rich, now that's turned off. Right, now we can turn off that little pump. So we'll go down there, find it, switch it off. Okay, that pump's now off. Primer as required, so we'll go here. We need to undo this. And it's in live data. We actually see if we're primed or not. So 1, 2, 3, probably 5, yeah, 4, 5. It's now primed. I'm going to go into the first stage of over-primed. There we go, that's it now. That's now set up. We go back to the checklist, it's now primed. Starter and core covers open, that's these two here. Mixture auto full, magnetos both on, 1 and 2, there's the 2 magnetos. Starter and booster engage both. Oil pressure rising. We've got oil temperature of 15, 20, 30 degrees. It's now rising, so we need to taxi quite quickly. Flaps up, prop control, full forward, canopy open, door unlocked, parking brakes release, throttle bursts up to 1500. We use short taps and brakes. A very important reason why we do that. This does not like braking to a stop. It's actually got a very long landing roll, unfortunately. Elevator trim neutral or slightly down. It's slightly down there. Rudder trim neutral or right bias. We'll do a little bit of right, that's that way there. Prop control full forward, full booster pump. That's this one here, if I can find it again, back on. That's back on. Flaps raised, supercharger auto and carb air closed. So we're going to go and do the run up check now, so I'm just going to taxi to the right. Get out of the way, I mean, why do you have to? Yeah, I know it's a nice plane and all that, you don't have to stand in front of it. Lindbergh reference to see where we're going. I'll do the run up on the lineup. There's the lineup, I'd say. Okay, lineup complete. Parking brake back on. We're going to advance throttles to about 1700 RPM. Ignition check, so check the magnetos, look for a drop in the RPM 1 there. Back on, that's okay. The other one, that's okay. Okay, so both ignition magnetos okay. Let's cover this back up. Now we need to do a prop check. For the prop, we need to go to 2000. So there's 2000, and we're going to take the prop here. Feather, drop, and oil pressure stays constant. Back up. See drop in RPM, yeah. Oil pressure stays constant. We don't see any change in boost really, but that's supercharged engines for you. Okay, I'm going to put the car heat on. Go idle. Okay, that's okay. Engine still runs. Light off. Prop full, mixture full. Engine's running. Let's do the door. Lock the door and get the canopy. Okay, canopy is now closed. Takeoff time. So takeoff, advance to +6 or 12 max, lift off 100, 200 miles an hour, 120 miles an hour, landing gear raise, elevator retrim as needed, door and canopy locked. So we'll just put this away now. So, tricky takeoff with this thing. You need to basically start with a full back pressure, otherwise you end up nose down and then squirreling all over the place. So I'm going to start now and we're going to go maximum 4 boost. Pressure. It's not very easy to take off with this thing. Gear up. Full power. Got an old war memorial to the Alpine War there. So we're going to climb up to about 10,000 feet. We can do that with 4,000 feet per minute right now. As you can see, it's a very impressive climb performance. There's actually few planes, even jets these days, that match this, apart from obviously Eurofighter, etc. So this was like the Eurofighter of its day. We're climbing with what, 30 degrees nose up. We've got the flat land of northern Italy coming out above us there, so we'll fly over towards Vicenza, which is where you see these hills here. Actually, let's do a lap of Lake Garda first. So I'm going to take us to, where am I going to take us to? Around 8,000 feet. Oh no, we're already there. 8,000. Just going to slow the climb down slightly there. Hand climb this one. I'm going to get a cruise climb going so we can accelerate slightly. Heading is 240. Let's see what happens if I go this way. Yeah, it's a magnetic compass just there. Heading to 70, roll out now. (9,000 feet). We've just got the fuel pump on and we're going to apply some oxygen. Give ourselves some oxygen, so we're going above 10,000 feet. Get reduced to about 7 and bring the prop just below 3,000. Going almost directly eastwards. tempted to switch to Google Terrain, but actually this is looking quite okay. Down that way we've got Bolzano and some of the higher mountains, a little lake down there. Trento coming up here, and if we just go straight ahead for this little col here, we should arrive somewhere which everyone will recognise. Let's give ourselves some more power. 12. I'm actually near 10 now, so I'm just going to pull up slightly. Just going to give a bit of left trim runner. Obviously the rudder trim affects aileron, so we see we're no longer veering left or right, and we're holding altitude nicely. 8,500 feet, so it's an even cruise level for VFR. Seem to have some, stuck snow on the scenery here, so I'm going to switch over to Google Maps rather than Bing. We'll see what difference that makes. Climbing 500, let's just get that back down. So the Bing Google Maps is a lot less green, it's more browny coloured, which is accurate for autumn, not so realistic for summertime. But then again, having snow in the summer is also not that realistic. So there's a little ridge we're just coming over here, we've got a mountain on the right there. 280, so 310 miles an hour at the moment. It's quite rapid. We've got Trento down there, so if we need to divert now, we'll go down there to Trento. And then ahead we'll be coming onto Lago di Garda, Gardasee. Let's reduce to 7. Just setting up some power, so let's just see what they've got here. Get the tablet out, does it have any power settings for cruise? Loop 300 knots. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, what have we here? Lago di Garda. We actually make a flight to Verona Villafranca military airbase. So if we just have a look down here, we'll start doing some aerobatics shortly. You can see the Google Maps clashing slightly there. So for manoeuvres, we're going to put everything back to full. We need 300 knots for a loop. We've got 300 knots, so loopy time. Aileron roll. Into overbank turn. Okay, what do we have here? Torbole sul Garda and Riva del Garda ahead. We've got where's the place called? Begins with an A. Climbing, lots of climbing. Back pressure, there we go, out of that. Lake Garda now will fly along the lake, and we'll reduce back down to cruise speeds. So it's about 0 for the descent rate. Going to reduce the boost to 7 or so. Speeds it up nicely, and we're going to reduce the prop to 6, 2,700. Basically set the boost to 7 and we adjust the prop for the speed that we're trying to maintain. So there you go, Lake Garda. On the left hand side we'll shortly have Malchesne, which is this one here. I actually launched a boat from there a few months ago. We'll be coming up on Verona shortly around the corner here. Now, if we have an engine failure at this point, the best option for everyone else is to ditch into the lake, but not for my plane, and it's a Spitfire, so we don't really want that. So let's just keep an eye for fields and stuff like that, which is not so easy on Lake Garda, because it's very populated, very cliffy. Maybe one of the fields up here somewhere, or actually up ahead on the right would be alright, maybe. It all wouldn't be alright, but it would be our best option, really. Definitely not on top of the mountains, though. The altitude of 4,500 feet right now. Let's just switch back over to Bing Maps, see what happens. Okay, so Big Map slowed again, we've got a bit more terrain. We veered slightly to the right. Just try and get to the end of the valley and land the plane at Verona. Sticking to the right hand shore, really. Verona's over on the left though, so let's give ourselves some power. Gonna climb. There we go, we're off the charts now. $6,000 maybe? There's 5,000. Start leveling off slowly. Don't need any more oxygen. Maybe Bing Maps would have been better here, just the standard ones. Looks a bit mismatched really. Anyway, we'll ignore the terrain. There's 6,000 feet, so I'm going to reduce down to 7 on boost. And 2,800 on prop. Hold it there. So the boost is like the manifold pressure basically, it is essentially the same thing. It's just because it's supercharged. But boost is also in PSI or inches of mercury potentially, so might be a even, I think it's actually more like bar. Wouldn't have a 4 PSI boost, that wouldn't be very much. So looking out for Verona now. Try to see if we can find a field. So I would presume that that's Verona over there. So let's turn left slightly. So yeah, the only thing to note about the Spitfire is it's entirely visual flying. There's nothing. We just have to look out the window basically. We can do slight instruments, we can do headings and altitudes, but other than that we are very much flying VFR. So this would be kind of probably where the military kind of gets its precision approach radar stuff from. As back in the day you wouldn't have had VORs everywhere to tune. I don't even have a radio on board, I don't think. I do have a radio, that's for sure. There we go, there's a radio. 122.8, there we go, that's my whole radio. There we go, and we've got a transponder. So we've got a radio and a transponder. And a vertical, horizontal horizon. We can look at the instruments. That's pretty much all we've got to look at. Looking ahead though, that looks like Venice Airport on the right there. I mean Verona. We'll do a little bit of a flight over Verona, have a look at some of the sights. It's a lot quieter on the outside, absolutely not realistic. A bit of buffeting there. There's a small field on the left there, that might be of interest, but we'll just land at Verona, near Villafranca, their base. There, it's on the right, you can see it quite clearly. Big airport, long runway. I don't quite fancy my chances with the length of that there, especially with this thing requiring quite a bit of a rollout when landing. So coming in over Verona now, we're going to take I'll take a right left detour to the river, and then we'll bop the ring down on the right and maybe do a bit of a slip to get some views. So coming down now, we've got the Stadium of Verona. That's like the normal national football stadium, I suppose. Huge train station, as you can see there. And then the interesting parts start here. This is kind of the old Roman sort of area. We've got the amphitheatre there, and somewhere just across the river there should be a fortress. Might be able to see, or maybe not. There's the amphitheatre. Romeo and Juliet live somewhere around here. Keeping an eye on the speed there. Some lovely vineyards here. Looks like the old Roman town by the looks of it. And then we'll see if we can try and find that fort, because I know it is there somewhere. And we'll make a straight approach to that runway there. Might be that it's in here somewhere. Oh, maybe that is the fort. There's just a bridge. Yeah, that's the fort there, and the bridge goes across. And there's a really good pasta place here. They do interesting things. You've got like octopus ink pasta. And there's a ginormous car park just outside town where I parked, which was somewhere here under these trees by the by the old ruins there. Our lovely swimming complex here. Turn the guns off, we don't need them. And the airport on the left there, so I'll actually start preparing for the approach now. So we need to reduce the power back down. Prop high. Mixture high. Make quite a fast approach so we don't have to worry about keeping the gear down. Speed below 160, canopy open. Gear down, flaps down. Actually would quite like to have that open, thank you. No. So we're going down too much. Yeah. Pitch for speed, we've got gear down. Looking at the side windows, basically watching. tail dragger. Right, spin it around. Too quickly or flip. Go off to the left here to the military stance. Oh, nearly did it. Right, parking brake on. That's all fine there. How do we turn this thing off? I imagine we do prop idle, throttle idle, mixture, both magnetos off, mixture off as well. There we go, we're slowed down and stopped. Yay! Flight with the Spitfire.